Hey there guys, and happy whatever day it is that you're watching this video. So today is a pretty special one, and it's special because for my birthday, my brother managed to get a hold for me a couple of boxes of Onyx coffee, which is pretty hard to get here in the UK as they are based in the US. But it's exciting because the last time I had Onyx, it was absolutely awesome. And I got it, I think, on the day that I met Lance Hedrick. Lovely guy, we had a great chat. And, well, I fell in love with Onyx that day, and I have been itching to get my hands on some more. So kick back, relax, get yourselves a coffee, and welcome to Today I Brewed. So what makes this coffee so special? Well, I guess here as a customer, it's pretty hard to come by. It's a bit like a Tauros in the Safari Zone in Pokemon Red and Blue, or Red. And, you know, when I tried it before, I absolutely loved it. I think I bought a couple of boxes, and I've just loved it ever since, and I've never been able to wait to get my hands on some more. But in order to get some, you do have to order quite a lot. I think it's about $100 worth, which each one's about $20, between, let's say, $18 and $30, depending on the coffees that you get. But it's worth it. But do I want to spend $100 on coffee? I'm not so sure. Maybe in the future, I'll do a whole series on Onyx and just order myself a huge amount so we can do it properly. But today is a good one. I've never kind of been shy about talking about my love for Ethiopian coffees, and this is no exception because it's spectacular and it has tasted spectacular the whole time I've been dialing it in and getting it to a setting and preference that I really like. So let's talk about it, and let me share my love for this coffee with you guys. So the coffee comes from, here we go, I'm butchering these pronunciations, it's Gedeb Beriti, which is a region in Ethiopia that has a really interesting story. The land that the coffee is grown on was actually given to the first female African pilot, whose name I will type below because I cannot pronounce it properly, and I don't want to do a disservice to the name, but it will be on the video for you to see. But when she came back from the Second World War, she was gifted some land in which became land for growing coffee. It had great soil, a great region for it, and it's become a really good region for growing coffee down the line, which is also in thanks to Matad, I think it is pronounced, which is I want to say it's like a cooperative in the region, so it pulls coffee from different areas and kind of mills them and processes them there, which I believe is owned by the Adenu brothers, who have their goal really is to keep driving production and quality forward to help bring the best coffees in Ethiopia for everybody else around the globe. And their website has so much information about what they do and the deeper aspects of their goal and what they wish to achieve. It is a fantastic story which you can find on the website. But before I go into the rest of it, this coffee isn't for sale anymore, and I got it just before Christmas, so maybe I kind of got one of the tail ends of the boxes to talk about, and you know, here I am only just talking about it. But the lot itself is a macro lot, and I believe if I've got the numbers right from the website, there was only 19,050 kilograms produced of this coffee, which also means it's pretty spectacular to taste because there isn't a lot of it. Although that sounds like a lot of coffee when we talk about that in kilos, it's not really, especially when it's going around the world and there's so many people in the world. The variety of the coffee is an heirloom. And as I've talked about in past videos, the heirlooms are generational, and they're kind of passed down in families to generations because they've been there for a while and they are native to that part of the land. I think I remembered that correctly. Please correct me if I haven't. The process is natural, and I generally believe you can't beat good natural Ethiopia. And I know I've promised a video down the line, but it will come once I've done some more research and I can properly articulate the ideas that I want to in the video. It's grown at an altitude of 2,000 meters above sea level, which is pretty darn high when we think about it. And the cup score it has is 87, so it's up there in terms of quality, and kind of having dialed it in over the week, the quality is there and it is definitely deserving of the score that it has. And I might even argue it deserves a slightly higher score. But that's not for me, because I am not a Q grader. The notes on the coffee are Concord grape, sweet tea, strawberry and raw honey. And an extra bit of info on this coffee as well is Onyx have graded it on their transparency scale as an A, which means the payment goes straight to the producers, and the money is only transferred between Onyx and the parties who are in the producing area of the coffee, which is pretty good. And maybe at some point, once I know more about that stuff, we can talk about how that chain of money works. But for those of you who aren't familiar with Onyx itself, they have produced some great baristas down the line, and just to name a few, there is Morgan Eckroth, who has been barista champion, and she went to the World Championships where I believe she came second. There is Lance Hedrick, who is not only an amazing latte artist, he's come in second place in the Brewers Cup, he's been to the Barista Championships as well, I believe, and his YouTube channel is fantastic. There's Andrea Allen as well, who has been a US Barista Champion, and I believe has coached Morgan in the past for the Barista Championships. And then the last one I don't know as much about, but definitely worth a mention because she has been US Barista Champion, is Alika Lifty. Apologies if I've got the name wrong there. But now we've spoken about the coffee a little bit, let's talk about what it was like to brew and kind of how it felt to kind of actually get to taste this wonderful coffee. So let's brew it together. When it was grinding, the great thing was the clarity on the aromas were perhaps some of the clearest I think I've had for a while. And I definitely got some of the grape in the aroma, and definitely some of the strawberry. There was a sweetness to the aroma, which I'm gonna put down to the honey, because we all know what honey smells like, and we know the sugariness that it has in the aroma itself. But it was a great grinding experience because of how clear those aromas were, which definitely kind of translated into the brewing process. And it gets you excited, doesn't it? When you get those aromas straight away. And as I've dialed it in over the course of time, those aromas have become more prominent. And I think today is the best one I've got. I know I've said that before, but I have to, right? If this is the worst one I've brewed all week, it'd be terrible. But moving on to the brewing process, as you can see, my God, does it bloom nicely. Like such a sexy bloom. And the aromas here really came to life. Like, I got so much more of the strawberry, the honey was there, and the sweetness, I believe, in the aroma of the brewing process came from the sweet tea. I don't often drink a lot of sweet tea, or a lot of tea for that matter, but I feel like it's kind of like a black tea with like a sugariness to it. And that's what I got in the aroma. The grape wasn't there so much as I was brewing, but everything else that came with it was definitely exciting. It was so clear and tantalizing to the senses. And it was wonderful. There was a slight bit of stall while it was brewing, but I'm brewing with my Chemex at the minute because I'm waiting for some new V60 papers to arrive. So there was a slight bit of stall which extended the brew time to about 5 minutes, which I'm not upset about because I can smell how good it is on the nose, and heck, why don't we just find out how it tastes? Because I'm sure it's gonna be electric. But here, actually, the grape is coming through amazingly. I'm not entirely sure what a Concord grape is, but if it smells like this, it's gotta be good. There's some sweetness there as well. The strawberry's coming through nicely. It's coming through amazing, actually. Well, that is a good cup. So much grape, but in a good way. And there's the strawberry there as well, but it tastes a bit more like a dried strawberry. It's got a lovely body to it, and it's super clean on the finish, with that lingering strawberry and sweetness as well. It feels more like sweet tea sweetness than it does honey, but the honey's there. It kind of feels like it's there in the body as well. Gosh, that is clean. Oof, I wish I could share that with you, but that goes down so smooth, and just there's a linger. The grape is lingering, just like hovering there nicely. Gosh, that's a good cup. It's a great coffee. Well, I am happy with that. Super happy, in fact. Oh, it's fantastic. I wish I could share it with you, but I can't. Yeah, stunning cup. Just so much about it. Oh, it's such a sensory experience everywhere, just from aroma to taste to finish. And I can't quite say enough good words about it. So because I can't, we're just going to leave it there. And if any of you have tried this before, let me know what you thought of it. Because it'd be interesting if everyone's got the same experience that I've had. So, if you haven't got a coffee yet, go get yourselves one. Kick back and relax. And thank you for joining me on Today I Brewed.